Howdy, this is Marissa with Marisa Moments. So the download slash vision, what have you, is this. Today I heard a voice. It's not the first time I've heard a voice, but it was a very distinct voice, and it said a name. It said a word, Kalolo. Now I had no idea where this came from. I kind of looked around. I've never heard this word before, so of course I did what any one of us would do. I Googled it. And you want to know what that word means? Judgment. Judgment. And I also heard a voice that said God. Now again, I don't want to lose you in the semantics of certain words, because God, the universe, Gaia, angels, spirits, all of those ancestors are essentially one and the same when you come down to it on an energetic, spiritual plane, right? So let's not get caught up in the words. But I heard the word God, and I was like, oh, Lord. I was like, oh, Lord. And what I received from it, though, is that because our first inclination is to think judgment day. Oh my gosh, here we go, right? Whoo, here we go. Do we hear the horn, sirens? I don't know what it is. But what I received is that it's not the judgment that we have all been told to believe. It is based off of individualistic judgment. It is based off of the place and space that we currently are, that we reside in. And what I received is that because we're in a season right now of potential abundance. And so that means from the lowest of the low, if you want to perceive it as that, because there really are no classifications. But anyway, the lowest of the low to the highest of the high. However you see whomever you place where, that's up to you, right? But everyone across all spectrums is being held to judgment. And in that judgment, that grants opportunity to escape the hell loops that they currently find themselves in, whether that be based off of generational trauma, curses, however you want to phrase it, or programming, all of these things that say you are where you are and you will never get any farther, right? So then that builds complacency and all of these things within us. And from that to those who are divinely led and spiritually led. Now, the judgment comes in, and oh gosh, I'm gonna have to do a part 2. So go to part 2. Howdy, this is Marissa again with Marisa Moments. So this is part 2. If you haven't watched part 1, watch it or not, it doesn't matter. Anyway, so the judgments that are coming are basically about assignments, because since we are all divinely connected to a higher source, right? That means that we have all received information, all of us. However, we just have a tendency due to programming to kind of dispel it as being like, oh, something crossed my mind, something crossed your mind, or I was thinking about, what were you thinking about? So when we get these downloads, right, it's about discipline. It's about knowing and following the assignment. It's about stepping up. It's about truly claiming what is ours, our divinity, our royalty, our happiness, our abundance. And when we say abundance, don't let your programming fool you into thinking that that is only wealth financial. It is happiness. It is joy. It is being able to be in a moment and capture it. It is feeling with your whole heart. It is allowing yourself to tap into the spark that is within all of us that kind of keeps us running. And spirit is very specific. It's not your heart, right? It's not your heart. It is almost like what I receive is like an orb of gold, a golden orb. So it's white and it has gold on the inside and it continues to spin. And that's what lights up in all of us. And so, anyway, back to the assignments. Essentially, we're in a season of potential abundance. So what we have to do as far as individual judgments is be willing, ready, willing, and able to follow up on those assignments, to stand in our power, and to not allow our programming, our trauma, our preconceived notions to block our blessings. So it is an ascension. It is there's no descension, but there is an ascension, essentially, because you do have an opportunity to rise, or you can stay in the same place. There is no right or wrong when it comes to this. It is up to the individual. We all have free will to choose what we want to do at this point. So will you understand and apply the assignment, or will you sit where you are and be comfortable with that? It's up to you.